didn't matter what city it was in. If it was in New York, it wouldn't have been 50 Cent. If it was, or whoever insert rappers you want here.
Numero UNO, me and Drizzy, this shit like the Super Bowl. Man, this shit done it big as the what?
All right. This one was a mission today, huh?
It was a little bit of a mission.
This was a mission today. No. Let's just say the universe was trying to make sure this didn't happen today.
Oh, for sure.
Because they knew I was about to drop some game on these old lanes.
It's kind of,
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're here. I just want you all to know what we had to do to make this happen today was a lot, but we're doing it for you.
We work hard.
The people.
We work real hard to make this happen, all right?
How was your week?
My week?
Pleasantries.
My week was... See, I'm trying not to say busy anymore.
Okay.
I'm trying not to say busy anymore.
Appreciate that.
Although it was busy.
Okay. All right.
But my week had some wins, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It had some wins.
Nice.
And, so it made it worth it.
Nice.
Not like it was any less busy, but it made it more worth it when you have some wins in the week.
I like it.
Right? So that was good.
I like it.
I tried to juggle not having it all be spent at work. You know what I mean? You gotta manage. You gotta juggle the.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
You gotta spend time with the fam. So I think I still was able to do that.
Okay.
Even while being very, very busy.
All right.
That was me. That was me this week. It was a lot of the same.
Well, congrats on the wins.
Thank you. Thank you.
Got to celebrate the wins, learn from the losses.
There you go.
Drake. So
it's still losing. So
yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, he's still in the middle of the L's.
Yeah.
The punches just keep rolling for him. I was in Utah this week. Yeah.
You were.
Yeah, I went to Sundance.
Really?
Where they have the Sundance Film Festival.
Really?
It's beautiful.
Really?
It's beautiful. I like Utah better than I like Colorado.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a hot take? I'm not too sure.
Not if you're from Utah. I mean, it was just, bunch of Mormons.
There you go.
Respect.
Respect to the Mormons.
I'm not sure. I saw a lot of white girls. I'm not sure how many of them were sister wiving or Mormon wiving or whatever they were doing.
That you were in sister wives.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask.
Yeah, right.
So how many sister wives you got?
Yeah.
But no, it was...
Is this your only wife? Or
I see you're here with a wife. Is this the only one or do you got more?
Yeah. Right.
But it was quite the experience. Sundance was an incredibly beautiful place.
Really?
Definitely a place to take the wife.
Yeah.
Just for a weekend getaway kind of situation. It was lovely. I'm not gonna lie. I went into it like Utah.
Yeah.
Utah? What the fuck are we doing?
What are we doing in Utah?
Fucking black. I don't play for the Jazz. What the fuck? There ain't no Jazz in Utah. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, for real.
And then I landed. I will say this: the Salt Lake is not looking very lakey.
Really?
Yeah, it's looking. Really? It's hurting right now.
It's looking salty.
Yeah, it's looking
Only
very.
salty?
He's looking marshy. A salty marsh is what it looks like to me. But outside of all of that, we were a couple hours away from Park City.
Yeah.
We were able to go to Sundance, go to Bridal Falls, hike a little bit.
Yeah.
Lots of great scenery. I'll have to share some pics.
Right.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So,
nice.
Yeah, and then everything was happening while I'm trying to be in nature.
Right.
For, a little retreat. And, I recommend it. I came back, we were driving back to the airport, and I was like, could I live in Utah? No. And I was like, holy shit.
Really?
Looking at the houses. They got like a little mini Silicon Valley out there. So
yeah.
A lot of tech companies and, stuff to do a little bit. But it's definitely, if you're outdoorsy and you're a nature kind of person, Utah, I think, would be perfect because it snows and it's very mountainous. So you get a lot of mountain scenery. And stuff like that. So yeah, Utah was good. Shout out to Utah, man. I'm not mad. Yeah, shout out to Utah.
See, your reaction to Utah was what I thought you would have had for Colorado. So
yeah,
that shit really flipped.
Yeah, Colorado, Denver didn't show up for me. Like I'm like, shit. It was Denver was a little sleepy. I expected Utah to be sleepy. I expected Denver to at least pop a little bit.
I see.
You know what I mean? But I wasn't expecting it to be like Vegas or Atlanta or nothing like that.
Right.
But even Atlanta only pops when something is popping.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, so hey, shit, I don't give a fuck how they feel. Like I went to Atlanta on the weekend, it wasn't shit happening. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So I don't like.
Atlanta, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, like if you ain't trying to go to Magic City or something like that, and you just and there's nothing like an event going on. Like this was outside of NFL.
Yeah.
I think the Hawks were away, so there was like nothing happening in Atlanta. You know what I mean? So, so there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Now they're not gonna like, unlike New Orleans, where you could go any weekend and there's something going on.
Okay.
So long as it's not underwater.
Yeah.
So prayers up to the people in New Orleans right now, going through, or in Louisiana. Hopefully everybody's okay. You know. We did in Utah get a lot of smoke from the wildfire that's in Reno and the wildfires that were here.
Okay.
So that smoke started floating by where we were. So yeah.
That's crazy.
So
all the way into Utah.
All the way into Utah. It was very smoky on the first night I was there.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So if you don't know, we're in California.
Yeah.
We are not too far from where there were wildfires.
Yes.
So hopefully everyone is safe.
Hopefully everyone's okay. It was pretty crazy. I had coworkers and people close to me that were affected, like having to evacuate from their homes. That kind of thing. It's very real.
Yeah.
Very real.
Yeah, and the airport fire, we could see from here.
That's crazy.
We could see from here. So it was nuts.
Yeah.
It was nuts. We were looking out the window like. That's a little closer than we were expecting.
that's
yeah, like that's but I mean it's still long way before it got to us, but still like very close. And then when night came, bright red fiery mountain.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was nuts.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was. So I had a crazy week between I'm getting ready to fly out. I'm like, all right, hun, if the shit jump off. Here's the, get everything out the safe, get the dogs in the car, go to your mom's, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like that, we're making plans.
The evacuation plan.
Yeah, we got the evacuation plan, the fucking go bags in the fucking closet, just grab it and throw that shit in the car.
Yeah.
Fucking leave, don't worry about the other one. Insurance will take care of it, you know what I mean? Take the one you like the most.
We'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly, So yeah, it was a crazy week. So started the week with that. Then I get to like calm, peaceful Utah, and then we do some work. And then today was like today.
Yeah.
So and through all that, I'm trying to keep up because on Sunday, the shit jumps off.
On Sunday, right after so last week we recorded on Saturday.
Yes.
Right.
We normally record on Sundays.
Yes.
But last week we recorded on Saturday.
Right.
And
the shit popped off, like you said, on Sunday.
Yeah. Made me angry. I was like, yo, Kendrick, come on, man. We record every Sunday. And then one time we record on Saturday. You wanna make an announcement. Come on, brother.
Come on, man.
Come on, brother.
Come on. But it was kind of a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
That allowed us to digest the whole week.
It's a crazy week, man.
Everything that played out in the way that it did.
It's a crazy week.
Right? It was a crazy week, right? In more ways than one, right? So
crazy week.
So I will say I'm actually grateful we didn't shoot on Sunday because our initial reaction is only one singular part of this whole bigger thing.
And it's a big thing. We got a lot on the burner. We got a lot on the agenda. So
let's get to it.
What's the best thing you heard this week?
Best thing I heard this week. All right, I'm gonna come out and say it.
All right.
I think you agree.
All right.
That there wasn't shit that dropped this week.
It was not shit popping this week. No.
Nothing at all.
Talib and J. Rawls made me. I was like, fucking narcoleptic, bro, through that whole album.
I was like low key hoping you were gonna like love it, so I could be like, bro, I got like 3 songs in, and I was like.
I was. Then I listened to the Terrence Martin joint. I was like, yo, y'all niggas is putting me to sleep, bro.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So what you got?
Much like weeks like this week, it's a good chance to go back and listen to some stuff.
All right.
So I was just going through old playlists. Sometimes I'll clean out the playlist, and be like, you know what? I don't really play these anymore. It's time to retire these. All right. so I was doing a little bit of that, and I went back to some stuff in 2017.
Okay.
2017,
all right.
which is a while ago now.
It was a while ago now.
It felt like yesterday.
7 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting old. You're getting old now. Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Well, hey.
All right, so best thing I heard this week was ASAP Twelvvy. The album's called 12. This was a favorite album of mine.
That seems on the nose.
On the nose. Debut album. So, yeah, it was on the nose. Yeah.
All
He had to make a point.
Okay.
1-2, baby. Let's go.
All right.
Apparently, it has something to do with, like, New York slang. I don't know.
Okay.
Like 212. 212 means I address you on something. Hey, I got a 212 you. I don't know.
I'll do the knowledge.
We're a California.
Yeah, we're a California podcast. We have simple names like Kendrick Lamar. Schoolboy Q.
I mean, Schoolboy Q's a little, like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, but there's like his O's aren't X's or some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
true.
Absol. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're a little out there names.
Yeah, they're not 12vvy. Go on. Okay, so best thing you have, we don't have to do East West.
Best thing I heard, but yeah, we don't need to go there right now. Best thing I heard was ASAP Twelvvy, and off that album, I would definitely recommend probably Strapped or Periodic Table to check out on that album. Okay, it'll give you a good understanding of who ASAP Twelvvy is.
Okay,
I really really appreciate that album.
Okay,
sonically it was really cool. I think Harry Fraud produced on it. So it's got like a little bit like darker tones to it, but
that's funny to me.
Why?
Harry Fraud.
Harry Fraud. He's a Harry Fraud. What you want from him?
I don't want that to be his name. I'll tell you that. I don't want that.
You never heard of Harry Fraud?
I've never heard of Harry.
What about Fraud? Johnny Two Times? You ever heard of Johnny Two Times?
No. I don't know Johnny one time or two time. I don't Johnny Law.
East Coast dudes get really enamored with the mafia stuff. And be like, you know what, man?
What about Tony Two Tone?
Yeah, Tony Two Tone. Like, I guess so. Johnny Plantain.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, Johnny Slap Shoes. Yeah. You never heard of Johnny? No, I've never heard of this nigga. All right. Well, so ASAP Twelvvy, 12. I'll have to give it. I've actually never listened to that album, so I can, in the spirit of listening to things,
at least listen to Periodic Table.
That
would be the one to listen to.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one.
So, like you said,
it
was a rough week.
Rough.
And I had time. Like, I was on flights. I had time for music.
Exactly.
And I was like, there's nothing out here.
You're like, huh.
But because I'm not like I know when I'm hating on something, I just want to make it clear.
Yeah.
I don't specifically like Drake. I don't mind OVO.
Yeah.
So the best thing I heard this thing was going to be Young Boy Problems by Roy Woods. That track is really fire off his album Mixed Emotions. I haven't listened to that whole album. That song is very Young Boy, but it's a great track. It's a really, really good track.
Right.
Shout out to the OVO artists out there who aren't getting no pub because your boy is not pubbing y'all. So, you know what I mean? So that was going to be my best thing.
Okay.
And I really like that. Like I was spinning it back just so I could learn the words to the song.
Yeah.
But in the 11th hour, because I went to go see Beetlejuice last night, and then it was like getting in bed, it was turning on the TV, and there was a video that YouTube had suggested to me.
Okay.
And it was Banx featuring Buddy and Smino, Hop Out Your Feelings.
Okay.
Presented by TDE.
Really?
Because TDE was not going to be outdone this weekend, at least, you know what I'm saying?
No way.
No way.
Across the board, too.
So
Jesus
the official
Christ.
Best thing, I will show you both of them, right? Young Boy Problems by Roy Woods, and we'll put the Banx joint up for you as well, so you know what that looks like if you're going through Spotify or your Apple Music. The Hop Out Your Feelings joint is fire. It is the actual best thing I heard this week. And in the literal 11th hour, because it was like 11:45, I'm going to bed last night.
Oh, shit.
And that song is coming up. So it is the best thing I heard this week. Fire track. Buddy had his little flow on there. Smino's good on there. Like, it's a good track. That's a good track. TD is on fire, bro. I don't know what to say.
TD is on fire.
But I chose Roy Woods.
Right. Originally. Yeah.
Because I've been thinking like, who are the other OVO artists out there, right? And I was like, and actually, Apple Music had suggested it for a playlist I was making. So, Much to my wife's chagrin, Siri seems to know me very well and my musical taste. Okay. So it got me thinking.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
How many OVO artists can you name?
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Are we doing a little live test
We're
right
gonna
now?
do a live test. I want you to
let's get
name.
it.
I want you to name
Let's get it,
OVO
baby.
artists. Let's
All right,
go.
baby. Owls out, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
All right. I can do this.
All right. Let's go.
All right. OVO artists.
OVO artists.
All right. Party Next Door.
Yes. Ding ding.
Roy Woods, which
I just said. I gave you that one. Ding ding.
Is I Love McConan still on there?
No.
Was he ever on there?
No.
Really?
Not on what I was researching, so
right.
the interwebs could lie to me.
Oh, fuck. All right. Majid Jordan.
Yes. Ding ding.
Division.
Ding ding.
Four Bats isn't on there, right?
Four Bats is not on there. Four Bats. Drake wanted him for OVO.
Okay.
He's on Gamma. Okay. So he was like, nah, I'm good.
It's right there with Sexy Red. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go, baby. Four Bats and Sexy Red going to the top, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
They're not, but yeah. Good. They're not. But, Four Bats is good. Sexy Red, not so much.
All right. Okay.
So Four Bats is not. He's
right.
on Gamma. I think I read that Drake was trying to hop on this project. Four Bats was like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But he is officially a Gamma artist, not OVO artist.
Okay. So how many I got? 4?
So you said Division, Roy Woods, Magic Jordan, Party.
Okay.
So you're at 4.
All right.
You're missing a very
OVO.
obvious one, by the way.
Really?
That was super obvious.
Like how obvious?
Like when I tell you, you're going to be like, fuck, man. But I didn't think of him as OVO.
OVO?
Yep.
OVO for sure.
OVO.
OVO.
That's the only hint you're getting.
Is it a girl?
Nope. Well, he acts like a bitch. I tell you that much. So that's okay. That's the last hint you're getting right there.
I don't know.
You ready? You give up?
Oh god.
All right. Well, first, do you give up on guessing?
I give up on guessing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's
okay.
the limit of
the obvious one you missed was Drake.
Well, no, not Drake. Of course, I know Drake.
Yes, but you didn't say him. I said OVO artist. He should have been the first one you missed.
Drake is OVO. Of course, I know that one.
All right.
Anybody else?
No, Drake was the bitch I was talking about. Okay, so
come on.
So Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? Yeah, Baka Not Nice is on here. Popcorn, I think that's the guy.
Popcorn.
Yeah, that's the guy who was like, turn that Kendrick shit off, right? Smiley, never heard of this motherfucker before in my life. I'll have to go check him out.
Smiley, I think is a UK artist. I think.
Okay, you could tell me he's anything, and I'd be like, okay.
I think Popcan is like Afrobeat artist.
Yeah, I think he's more reggae than he is.
Like traditional reggae.
I think I don't. I'm finding all of these people out, but I want to say he's reggae, but don't do your own research. I will find out myself.
All right. All right.
Just so I can judge his music or enjoy it, whichever one I'm going to do. Okay. The last one and their newest one, the only female on this list, Naomi Sharon.
Don't know.
My point.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I didn't know that some of these people were OVO affiliated.
There you go.
Or
there you go. So to the point that I'm going to make, we're going to give you some redemption. TDE artists, go.
Oh, so now you're gonna flip it on me.
I'm gonna flip it on you. Go.
Oh, not well. Now you're testing my cred.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go.
All right, TDE.
Let's go.
So we're saying who's actually officially on
today.
TDE.
So I'm slapping. We're gonna slash Kendrick because he's not a TDE.
Kendrick's
artist.
out. Yeah. I'll start with Schoolboy.
Yep.
J Rock.
Yep.
Absol.
Yep.
Doechii.
Yep.
Isaiah Rashad.
Yes.
Zakari.
Yep. Man, you killing it right now.
I'm going off right now.
Killing it.
I had a good one going, and now I'm a SZA, obviously.
There you go.
Fire, bro. What are we talking about? You hear this lineup right now?
Fire, flames.
Fucking big as the what?
Big as the what?
We'll get to that later.
I'm gonna get back to that for the record.
Oh shit.
All right.
Okay.
You only got 3 that you are missing.
3 that I'm missing
off of this roster. 4.
Daylight's not officially on.
No,
right?
he's not officially signed.
He's like affiliated.
Yeah. You got 4 that you're missing.
4 that I'm missing. Mm-hmm. I got the big ones out of the way, right?
You did get the big ones. Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
All right, I ain't gonna hold you.
I know some of them.
I know when I say them, you're gonna be
me.
like, damn, I know.
Yeah.
All right, Lance Skywalker.
Oh man, that would have been.
Sir.
Oh come on, what? I'm sorry.
Zakari.
I said Zakari.
Oh, you said Zakari. That's fine. Yeah.
How did I say Zakari before,
and not sir? Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Sorry.
But then, okay, so then you only missed 3. Rayvon, Lance Skywalker, and Sir were the 3 you missed.
Oh, Rayvon. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at these and I'm like, okay, one of the problems I've had, and we can talk about this during the Drake section of the show.
Yeah.
'Cause there is a Drake section of the show, people. During the Drake section of the show, we can talk about this, but I wanted to, because I've been going through and like, who are the artists on OVO? And they're like, Baka's got like 1 release, and I don't even think it's like an album, but I didn't look either. And a lot of these artists don't even really have popular releases that you're aware of, right? Outside of Roy Woods and Division. Are probably the most notable names outside of Drake that you would know from OVO.
Yeah. Well, Party and
Party. I keep forgetting about Party.
And Division, I think, would be the ones that
they're the marquee names.
Yeah.
And then their producers signed OVO like 40, Boy Wonder, and they're so those there are producers who are OVO sound as well.
Okay.
But as far as acts go, TDE, I think it's like undeniable that TDE is putting out like bangers.
Well, it's like it's night and day, dude.
It's night and day.
It's night and day compared, and it's also interesting to see because no rappers on OVO, right?
Drake.
Besides
Baka.
Drake. Baka's a rapper? All I know is Baka's got a weird case.
Why is he around?
Why is he around, bro? Why is he around? That's all I know.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Drake is the only, I guess, rapper until I figure out what Popcorn actually does.
I know that Popcorn is like in like the,
if he's an Afro beats, I believe you. You could tell me anything.
Dance hall type.
Yeah, you could. That kind of you could tell me they do anything, bro. You could tell me they fly planes, and I'd be like, okay.
I just definitely know that he's on that kind of vibe. So it's more of like it's not rap.
Okay.
It's definitely not rap.
Okay. So yeah, then Drake is the only air quotes rapper.
So he's got okay.
So yeah, I mean, quite the difference.
Well, very different.
Quite the difference.
Very, very different.
I also will say this because I think that a lot of the OVO sound artists are Canadian only. I'll have to go back and I will actually do the research before I put anything out there that I don't know what I'm talking about. But I know the singer and I think the producer as well from Division are both Canadian.
I think so, yeah.
Obviously Drake, Roy Woods is Canadian as well. Party is from Ontario.
Yeah.
Baka, I guess, is Canadian, I guess. Popcorn is obviously not.
Yeah.
So, or maybe he is. I don't know. I have to go.
Yeah,
and then I'll have
might
to
very well be.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I'll have to go back. Whereas we know J Rock and Absol, Schoolboy are from the West Coast.
Different parts of the West Coast.
Yeah. But Sir as well is from LA. But
Sure.
Isaiah Rashad is from Tennessee. Doechie's from Florida.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where Lance Skywalker is from.
I don't know either.
You know what I mean? So it looks like TDE is able to like broaden his sound.
Well, even SZA too, right?
SZA's from
I don't even know where she's from, but she's not from.
She's not from LA.
West Coast, yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm like, there's even a wider reach across creativity and sound.
Yeah.
Because Isaiah Rashad doesn't make music like Schoolboy Q, who doesn't make music like Doechii, who doesn't make music like Soul, right? Like these are all very different sounding artists.
Yeah.
They're not all the same sounding artists. So
Right.
I just thought about it as I had those 2 best things, because those are the 2 best things I heard this week, and I was like, let me look. How's OVO versus TDE? Because obviously I'm biased, and I like shitting on Drake. I'm not even gonna lie. So Drake's got enough acts and malls out there that he could stand a few people telling him,
your
label ain't shit.
You can handle it. Yeah, your label really is good shit. Jesus Christ. I'm finding that out in real time.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I mean, I don't really think about it as even a label. You know.
It's just kind of a brand, right?
Crew.
Yeah, it's kind of a brand, which is cool. So let's get to the real.
The
real. So Kendrick announces the Super Bowl. He's playing the Super Bowl. And again, since we haven't had a chance to talk about it and record, talked about it a little bit before we started recording today.
Right.
Tell me, what happened? What went through your mind?
I mean, okay, I'll take you back. So I was in the car.
Okay.
maybe I wasn't driving.
All right.
Because I felt a vibration, fucking... Wait, what? And then I immediately hit the group chat, right? And I was like, pew, right away. I think it was like, bro, I was there before even like the spam comments were there. You know what I mean? Like it was that early.
Yeah.
Right? I was up in the morning and I was out and about and I saw, I was like, what? And I sent it to you guys and I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And so obviously I turn it up and I have it to my ear. I'm just like trying to listen to every single word,
Yeah.
I was like, what, is he still sending shots too?
Yeah.
His announcement? What's
no
going
round
on?
twos.
I didn't even have time to like dissect it,
Yeah.
I wasn't able to fucking nerd out and find out where was the backdrop from originally and all this shit that Twitter obviously does.
Oh, they went in. They go on the Kendrick shit.
They do it very well, right?
Yeah.
And you guys know by now, you guys can't just take his presentations on face value. You gotta
go and put the fucking tinfoil hat on and break it down.
Because you're probably still gonna be needing to fucking do more research to even figure out everything that he's trying to say there. But so that was my initial reaction, was just to be like, well, I gotta talk about this with somebody, right? And so, I wasn't even thinking about the Super Bowl halftime, right? That it was coming up and that we didn't know who was going to be. I know that sometimes that announcement will happen even kind of closer to December sometimes, and stuff like that. So I just wasn't thinking about it at all. And it was the first weekend of football, I'm pretty sure, right? So
yes, it actually was.
That
yes.
was opening weekend of
it
football,
was.
Right?
Yes, because I destroyed both my fantasy teams, by the way. So both my drafts gave me a D-. I was the highest scoring in both the leagues. So
nice.
Kiss my ass.
You're like, hey.
So, but yes, it was the first week.
Yeah. So there was that too. It was just, there's so much other stuff going on and I had forgotten about it. And then the announcement came and I was like, holy shit. And I think I was just more hyped than anything else.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about like, oh shit, we shitting on Drake. But I was like, well, we are shitting on Drake. You know what I'm saying? Big as the what, bro? What the fuck?
Yo. So my first instinct was like, damn, Drake, you're done, bro. Like it wasn't even like I'm glad Kendrick got it, because I don't be caring about the Super Bowl halftime like that.
Yeah.
There's only been 2 Super Bowl halftime shows that I cared about.
Okay.
Prince, Rihanna. Those are the only 2 that I was like
over here and over here. Like in terms of time. Like,
like I was like, oh, that Prince one I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
And then the Rihanna one, I was like, I want to see what Bad Girl Riri does.
Yeah.
And she obviously announced that she was pregnant and all of that stuff. So those are the only 2. The LA one, I was like, oh, okay, I'll see what this was about. But I mean, I don't know that I was super hyped about the Dr. J presents Super Bowl with Kendrick and Eminem and everything. I don't know that I was as hyped as I was for the Prince and the Rihanna was. I was fucking hyped for those 2. The other ones, I was like, oh, okay, let's see what this is going to be.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just like, my guy, like, and the way he announced it too, no round twos. Like, I'm just like,
no round twos and like.
So everybody thinks that I am saying Drake go away because I don't like Drake. I don't like Drake, but I think the best thing for him is to stop giving Kendrick ammunition. This is the thing. Like, so if you're going to listen to fucking academics, who's clearly on the bottom of the Drake information totem pole, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then, so if you're going to listen to people like that who are just like, nah, Drake is dropping and Drake needs to, he's been dropping tracks and they've been very mid and they aren't charting when they finally get released to DSPs and stuff like that.
Right.
And then Kendrick drops a Super Bowl announcement. So it's just like, just go away.
These
because
things are not the same.
Yeah, they're not the same.
And he continues to fail to realize that whatever he does will then be reflected upon whatever Kendrick does next, right? We're still in that time.
We're still in that time.
We might have talked about it before, but like they're still very intimately related right now because of the beef, because of the aftermath of the beef, because it's just making it more and more clear there was a clear winner in Kendrick. You know what I mean?
It's just and all this. So all the people who are out there in the comments, because you forwarded me some comments, that are just like Kendrick is only big because of Drake.
Right.
I think the opposite is actually. I think the opposite is actually true. Drake is trying to feed off of the enormity that is Kendrick Lamar right now. Right. So yes, Kendrick is living off of notoriety from having won a rap beef from off of Drake. I agree with that. But he didn't get the Super Bowl because he beat Drake in a rap beef. Let's be honest. So my initial reaction was, damn, Drake, you keep taking these fucking L's, bro. You need to just go sit down. Just go away. Starve the streets. Don't feed the streets. Starve the streets.
Right.
Stop giving Kendrick ammunition.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe, you want to pick a girl that maybe is not somebody else's girl and is of age. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
There you go.
And just have some self-reflection. And let Kendrick just be the king right now. Right. And so that was my initial reaction when I first saw the announcement. And I was just like, and then I went and had a great fantasy day. So it was just an all around great day for me because I was just like, Niners won.
It was just a good day.
It was a good day. It was like a lot of wins. Kendrick's winning. The Niners are winning. I'm winning. Like, this is fantastic. You know what I mean? So it was, I had a good Sunday last Sunday. And then, when I woke up on Monday and started seeing all the Lil Wayne talk, and it should have been Lil Wayne, or even that was on Sunday as well a little bit, but watching the Boosies and the Nicki Minaj and Baby.
Well, Nicki Minaj went on a whole tirade herself, and then, of course, Baby's going to react the way he's going to react.
Which is fine.
And, I wasn't mad at any of the reactions, right? I think people get caught up in an idea and they can really run with it. And I heard a term, what is it called? Like spending your money before you have it kind of thing. Or like, too much dip in your chip. You know what I mean? Just feeling yourself a little bit too much, or just not being very self-aware. Right. And then you go into a situation believing that there's going to be one outcome and you get the complete opposite. And again, it hurts a lot more when that happens, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Did we really think Lil Wayne was going to headline the Super Bowl?
Well, so I have a couple things to say about this, right? I'm fine with Lil Wayne's fans and Lil Wayne's friends and people who love Lil Wayne being upset.
Right.
Okay. I think it's a little overblown how upset people are, though, because one of my best friends was born and raised in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And I called him and I was like, how you feel about Lil Wayne not getting the Super Bowl? He was like, I don't give a fuck about that at all.
That's coming from the source. Right?
I was like,
we can't say shit compared to him.
Like, so this isn't bothering you, though. He was like, I mean, it would have been fine if he did. He's like, I'm not like out here beating the drum for Lil Wayne. He's like, but if the Saints go, right, he's more concerned about the Saints going to Super Bowl while it's in New Orleans.
Well, naturally,
right? Than he is about Lil Wayne playing the halftime show.
Yeah.
So I had a couple feelings as I'm watching all this discourse. A few feelings. I was like, one. So again, I'm gonna get into my old man bag.
Okay.
Because a lot of you motherfuckers don't remember when the Super Bowl was like Guns N' Roses and Kid Rock and Coldplay and fucking U2 and fucking Katy Perry. Yeah.
You'd be like,
yeah. A lot of you motherfuckers don't remember when that's who was playing the Super Bowl, and we would get the fuck up and walk out and go piss and shit and get some chips and all this other kind of stuff. When the halftime show came on, it was not something you wanted to watch.
Oh, I was like, I don't want to watch AC/DC fucking 30 years after they were relevant.
Or whatever pop act was there at the time, right? You know what I mean? Up until Janet Jackson was on there, we're like watching Janet Jackson, and then fucking Justin rips her titty out. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, you know, which ruined her career. And then black people don't get the Super Bowl again for a little while after that. So I just, that was my initial thought. Like, you guys, we're having the wrong conversation because it's been said many times this week. One, just because the city is in your, or the Super Bowl is in your city, doesn't mean you perform. Yeah. That's never been a thing. Yeah. It's never been a thing. In fact, the first time it was a thing is when Dr. Dre did it, and he wasn't headlining. It was like Dr. Dre presents the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah, we had 50 Cent, we had Eminem.
Not from LA.
It's like you had other acts. Yeah, it wasn't like again, the visuals, were very LA. Mm-hmm. So I get that maybe gave them a false sense of security, like thinking like, oh, we can continue to do this. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's a line of thinking we should have, right, as a consumer. But it's like, no, it kind of all fit. It kind of all fit, and it worked out for that time. But, don't think, we're going to... Yeah. What are they going to do when they're in fucking, Ohio or something? What are they gonna? They're gonna call out MGK. Who
the fuck is from Ohio? Name me the rapper from Ohio.
Sorry, shout out Ohio. I'm not trying to shit on Ohio.
I'm trying to shit on Ohio. Y'all motherfuckers is talking about Haitians is eating dogs. Fuck you, Ohio.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Fuck you, Ohio.
That's
I'm
wild.
shitting on Ohio, right? Like, fuck that. So the Super Bowl, just because it's in Louisiana and New Orleans, didn't automatically mean Lil Wayne needed to be in the Super Bowl, performing on the Super Bowl. Second thing, that I came from is when you start having a conversation like this, is Lil Wayne deserving of performing in the Super Bowl because he is Lil Wayne, right, or because it is in New Orleans, right?
Which one are we saying?
Because you just put Lil Wayne in a box because now he can only ever perform at the Super Bowl if it's in New Orleans.
Right. If the argument was the people were saying that Lil Wayne is deserving of a halftime performance no matter what, you would have been mad ever since whenever you wanted to say like, oh, no, Lil
whenever
Wayne
Rock Nation took, but Lil Wayne could have did it when it was in Miami.
There you go.
Right. But instead they did J-Lo, who's not from Miami, and neither is Shakira. So. You know what I mean? Jenny's from the block, as far as I remember. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So there was that aspect of it as well. Like, are you saying that he is only deserving because it is in New Orleans? Right. In which case, he doesn't deserve to play the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Right? Because if it was in LA, would Lil Wayne kill a Super Bowl? If the answer to that is, then that's why he's not playing the Super Bowl. Right. Right.
There's a lot of qualifiers that I think people skipped over. Yeah. To just be mad at the fact that, wow, we could have had this moment that would have been perfect. Perfect for who? For you? But perfect for all these corporations that were tied into this shit? Right. I don't know if that's the case.
And we're going to get to that. Because I'm going to do a lesson. Because this whole conversation just made me super angry about what we were having, what we were talking about. Right. Nope. There were some people who came out. Cameron came out and was like, shout out to Kendrick. He deserves it and everything. It's a travesty. But, Cameron is Cameron, and he be doing him and Mace be doing them. They also thought Drake was winning the beef. So for whatever that's worth. So for whatever that's worth. But I'll just say that this is the first time a rapper is headlining the Super Bowl. Yeah. And the initial discourse, the conversation we were having out in front of the world, maybe a conversation we should be having like with the door closed in the community. Right. So that way we could have honest dialogue about why Wayne isn't in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Right. So instead of, oh shit, congrats to Kendrick. Happy hip hop is taking the center stage. Yeah. On the biggest stage in America. Right. We are having a conversation like, fuck Jay-Z, he's hating and la 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 la. And so it got me thinking, how dumb are people? And I decided on my flight to Utah, people are really dumb.
Was it because of the people that were there, or was it because of?
Nah, I mean, you know what? The whites behaved in Utah. You know, I had my hair braided and everything. I looked like a nigga out there, so they did not fuck with me. You know, it was like, hey, good morning. All right,
Good morning.
all right.
Well, because you were the first black person they saw this year.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you know, they seen the jazz, so it's fine. So it's fine.
Oh, who's even on the Jazz anymore?
Okay, look, we're not gonna. I don't know. I don't know who plays for the fucking Jazz.
First person that comes to my mind is Laurie Markkinen, and he's white.
That's true. Jordan Clarkson.
There you go.
All
Shout out
right,
Jordan Clarkson.
there we go. So I got one.
There you go.
I got one.
Back from his time with LA. That's what I remember. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So, yeah, we're getting sidetracked here.
Take us to school.
All right, I'm gonna take us to school. All right, so Jay-Z is part of a group of people that make decisions about who is going to be at the Super Bowl.
Correct.
Rock Nation is, we all know, is in charge of putting these events on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we've known, because they announced this shit very early, and we know who's bidding, and they always tell you well in advance what city they're going to who is going to host.
Right, like don't they plan it out?
They
at least a few years ahead.
There is a plan. Like, I think we can go online right now. You can probably Google where the Super Bowl is going to be over the next few years.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be up in San Fran in a couple years. I think it's going to be back here in LA in a couple years. You can go see.
Yeah.
So these things are like planned out.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's next year that it's going to be in LA. I think it's up in San Fran next year. We have to look. We can look.
It would be wild if it was 2026 for it to be in LA again.
No, the Olympics are coming 2028.
World Cup is going to be here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So then it might be 25 that it's in LA then.
Really?
I think we can. Don't quote me. Go do the research. My point is, you can go find out.
Yeah.
Academics has found out where the Super Bowl is going to be.
Right.
Okay, over the next few years.
Yeah.
And so, be that as it may, you also have to understand that these decisions on who the acts are going to be are made a while ago as well. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Right.
So, Jay-Z, they probably had a list of artists that they were like, hey, who do we want to get to perform the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And while I want to shit on Jay-Z a lot for how he did Colin Kaepernick and got that bag from the Super Bowl.
He said, I'm not going to let you stop us from getting this back.
He was like, look, okay, you've been kneeling too much for my liking, right?
Let's get up off the knees. Like, whoa, Jay-Z, relax.
We have to get off our knees. First of all, pause. Second, so we can all shit on Jay-Z for how Rock Nation came in, because it feels like he rode Colin Kaepernick's coattails into his agreement with the Super Bowl. But that being said, he has put black excellence at the forefront of this year's Super Bowl.
Right.
And so there's a list of artists out there that I'm sure they go through and they approve. I will maintain, I have no idea, I have no evidence of this.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar was selected probably before the beef.
Yeah, that very well could be possible. Like, that's a high possibility. Like, that's not just like that's not you just trying to say that to spark up some. Take the beef out of it, right?
Yeah.
Again, when did the beef start happening?
It happened in May.
May? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure that decision could have been made a year in advance.
Yeah, I'm sure that decision was made.
8-9 months
and it might have been because we know First Person Shooter came out last year.
Yes.
It came out like December or whatever, right?
Right there.
Whatever.
Right there,
So it came out the end of last year. And we know that Like That came out in April.
Yes.
Kendrick might have known that I'm doing the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm about to call this nigga out.
Yeah.
And I'm about to roll my shit out on this nigga right here because he's clearly got an agenda. He's clearly got an agenda at this point. Nobody can deny. Kendrick Lamar has an agenda.
I do not put it past this guy. He is a brain assassin, whatever you want to call him.
and getting back to the Lil Wayne of it all, because you're a bigger Lil Wayne fan than I am.
Correct.
I have a hot take. I don't think he's all that great. But
That's wild.
You,
That's crazy.
I think he has some hot songs out there. I think the Carter 3 is his best album.
Yeah.
That I've heard.
I would agree.
Ever.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of hot tracks out there. He's got a lot of Lil Wayne tracks that I listen to, and I've been listening to him since it was Hot Boys and Big Timers and Cash Money and all of that stuff. Yeah. I've been listening to Lil Wayne for a long time, and I do not want to say he's not one of the rap greats. What I am saying, I'll say it different than I talk about it with Drake.
Yeah.
I don't prefer Lil Wayne's music. I'm not here to say that it's bad.
Oh, okay.
I call Drake music bad, but I don't prefer Lil Wayne.
Well, I can get with you on that. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
So he don't have no like top 10 albums or top 15 albums for me, which he has for a lot of people.
I mean, not for me either. To be fair, he doesn't have it for me either. Like Carter 3 would be the best for me too. Wouldn't be in my top 10. It wasn't. It wasn't in mine. Either in my top 10. I should have put it in there. Just number one. Lil Wayne. The GOAT.
I just would have been like, yo, we got to get out of here.
And some of his mixtapes and stuff like that, again, he had his mixtape run, as so famously known for, at least within the smaller circles of rap and hip-hop, right? Is one of the things that he's renowned for is that. And I do appreciate a lot of that music, too.
Yeah.
A lot of what he was able to do on beats that you wanted to hear him on. That was cool. And he kept it hip-hop. So that was cool. And so I think that's where my respect for Wayne comes from. Yeah. Right?
I respect Wayne. He's a great lyricist. Yeah. I think, lyrically, he's one of the best rappers I've heard. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that he's one of the rap's best to do it. Yeah. I'm gonna start a new norm. I'm not using the term GOAT unless I actually mean the greatest, because there can only be one greatest of all time. Yeah. So I don't want to be like Lil Wayne is the GOAT of Louisiana. Like he's one of the best rappers hip hop has produced. Right. But all that being said, there is a corporate aspect to the Super Bowl that this conversation around why wasn't he able to do it and him being disappointed. Yeah. Again, like if we go to school, this decision having been made probably months ago. Right. Right. There's probably a list of people, and then you put that in front of corporate sponsors to figure out who they feel like they could ride with. Mm-hmm. Lil Wayne was probably on that list. Right.
Do you think he was on that list?
I think Lil Wayne, it would not make sense for it to be in New Orleans and for Rock Nation not to at least think about Lil Wayne. Yeah. Right. Unless, because we don't have no knowledge, unless there's some back behind the scenes shit that happens, unless Birdman popped off to the wrong person and was like, no Lil Wayne, right? Like, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, like, I don't have any knowledge of that shit, so I'm not going to speak to anything like that, right? So all I can say is, you know, you put that shit in front of the NFL, you put that shit in front of corporate sponsors. Right. They determine who's palatable for them. Yeah. And who they want to put the Doritos halftime show or the Apple Music
Pepsi halftime show,
right? And
presented by Apple Music.
Exactly.
In conjunction with Amazon.
Exactly. Presented by the NFL. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Shout out FedEx. So you're just like, okay, relax.
And so none of them motherfuckers wanted to attach their name to Lil Wayne, which makes sense.
Yeah. It tracks.
That tracks to me. So that's why this conversation made me so mad. Because I was like, Lil Wayne got corporate sponsors? What the fuck is we talking about right now?
I know. I'm like, what? What are you talking about right now?
What are you talking about right now? So,
I have a hot take.
Go.
I don't think that Lil Wayne was even being considered.
Okay. Why?
That is my hot take.
Why?
Because again, when we look at it from that lens, through the corporate sponsorship lens, I think they were immediately like, no. Okay. No Lil Wayne. Okay. We know enough of his track record, his presentability, I guess, you know, their marketability. Yeah, right? Yeah. Who's going to represent well. And if the conversation was, look, from Jay-Z and others, to that we want to present a singular rap artist to be the person for the halftime show. Yeah. They were like, okay, well, yeah. Give us a list. Okay, not Lil Wayne, not Future. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. You know, but they were just like, no.
They're not doing Future. You know, they're not gonna let him sing Percocet, Molly Percocet,
Ret the set.
We're not doing that at the Super Bowl. We're just not doing that at the Super Bowl. Yeah. So that's just not what's gonna happen. Yeah. But Okay, so I think he was considered.
I don't think he was considered.
I think he was considered.
That's the other thing. We're having this conversation, or not we are, but Twitter was going off.
Yeah.
Talking about the disrespect that was shown to Wayne, and that is presented as if there was a assumption that he was the guy they were gonna go with, like that there was no other way it was gonna be anyone else besides Lil Wayne, like as if this decision was in fact to disrespect Wayne, which I don't think it was. I think it was business is business, and we're gonna go with the guy that we trust in putting our marketing dollars and all our corporate sponsored dollars behind.
So there's one thing I want to agree with.
Yeah.
Jay-Z will sell out the black community to enrich himself. Hands down. Fuck New York people who think I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
Like, he will.
Right.
He rode Colin Kaepernick wave to the Rock Nation collab with the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay. He got all the niggas on Tidal before he sold it to Jack Dorsey.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
He got all the niggas drinking Ace of Spades before he sold it.
Yeah.
Ak actually said this, and it's one of the few times I agree with Ak. Jay-Z gets black people engaged in something, builds the value of it up, sells that motherfucker, and runs off with the money.
Right.
He does that shit.
Yeah.
But all that being said, all the hate he received before anybody had a chance to sit down, especially that tirade that Nicki Minaj went off on, I started thinking to myself, like, do you niggas not understand the laws of power, right? Like, I mentioned it when we talked about the Drake-Kendrick battle. Go read 48 Laws of Power. You know what I mean? Because in the Kendrick and Drake thing, I said, you destroy absolutely. Well, the first law of power is don't outshine your master. Right? And so think about what Kendrick has done this year.
Right.
Okay? Like That is still charting. It's like probably in the 40s or something like that. Not Like Us has dropped down into the 20s or wherever it is in the teens at this point. But it's still almost 4 months on the charts.
Yeah.
And then he does the pop-out concert, which was streamed on what?
Amazon.
Was streamed on Amazon. Who does the Thursday night games again? Amazon. Okay, so again, we get the dress rehearsal for what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? He does an amazing show that is viewed around the world by millions of people. Can Kendrick Lamar do a show? Yes, we just streamed it on Amazon.
Right.
Amazon is connected to the NFL.
Yeah.
Kendrick also has relationships with Dr. Dre, as we know, who also vibes with who? Jay-Z and Rock Nation. Like, all of this shit is hand in hand, right? And so it makes sense to me that they were able to, after the years Kendrick has, say Kendrick Lamar is the obvious choice for the Super Bowl right now.
Right.
It didn't matter what city it was in. If it was in New York, it wouldn't have been 50 Cent. If it was, or whoever insert rappers you want here.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what city the fucking thing was in this year. It was going to be Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
And I think that we're missing this.
Yeah.
That Cash Money, there seems to be a corporate/industry push against Cash Money, Young Money, and OVO right now.
Right.
And I don't think people are talking about that enough.
No, not at all, because we can look at the individuals that make up, I guess, the biggest parts of that, right? Drake, Nicki, and Lil Wayne, right? And Nicki has her own beefs with the industry.
She does. And she still moves numbers. She still does great.
She does amazing for, I guess what you could potentially call being blackballed.
Yeah.
Right? And
she does really well.
Too.
The barbs are out there for her.
Yeah, so shout out to the barbs.
Yeah.
Because they keep it going. She still does like 300.
Yeah, she does. She does really great numbers.
And so she's still putting out quality music and getting the numbers to reflect that. So all things considered, right? But it does feel like there is a pushback on her from either scorned relationships that she has within the industry.
She's scorning relationships. The VMAs were just in Queens,
right?
No, Meg hosts the. I'm like, there is something going on where the industry is like, we shitting on all y'all, right?
Yeah.
Right? Cash Money, New Orleans, baby talking about what a bossy is. You're not a boss if when people come to your city to jump shit off, you got to ask them if you could do something. Like, that's not boss shit. That's
they're not asking you.
Yeah, they're not asking you. They didn't ask you to come to New Orleans. They said, we in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then y'all was like, hope they pick us. That's not boss moves, right? Yeah. Like that. You ain't a boss.
No. And that's just not how those deals are played either.
That's not how those deals are played.
And I think that's again, to your point, people aren't looking at this in the business moves that are being made all at the same time, right? These are building blocks.
Yeah.
That you put together to then make these deals happen.
It's
the only way that these deals happen. And again, that's why there is credence to what you're saying about the potential that this deal could have been, being finalized even in the top of the year, right? Yeah. Or even, or that there was, again, that the pop out was a rehearsal for that, to show you guys, look, this is what I can do. I've already shown it on my tour.
This is PG Lang.
That I did.
This is PG Lang production.
Exactly, right? And again, I had mentioned this to you when we were talking about Lil Wayne, that if Lil Wayne seriously wanted to perform at the Super Bowl halftime, he wouldn't have started taking it serious 5 years ago. He would have took it serious a long, long time ago, right? Again, we're talking about his brand. We're talking about...
So, to that,
yeah,
I want to rewind a little bit.
Okay.
Let's rewind. Okay. So, in 2019, 2020,
yeah,
there was a cultural thing happening while we were going through a pandemic.
Right.
Colin Kaepernick was a thing that was going on.
Uh-huh.
Black Lives Matter became a thing that was going on.
Yeah.
Okay. During that time, Lil Wayne, very pro-Trump, said, only my lives matter. This is on live TV. Go Google the fucking conversation. My life matter.
Yeah.
He didn't believe in no police brutality because he was saved by a cop when he was young.
Yeah.
Only my life matter. And my life matter to my bitches. I'm not quoting Lil Wayne. I'm paraphrasing because I didn't watch that shit. You know what I mean? And then he pulls out his red flag. This is what mattered. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
He has been very pro-Trump because Trump, before he left office,
right,
got Wayne up out of jail.
Right.
So he's been very pro-Trump. And we know, shout out to Elon, that if you are outwardly pro-Trump and trying to be a corporate brand, it is plutonium. Right. Nobody wants to touch it.
Right.
But that's not to say you can't support Trump or whatever candidate you want to do.
Yeah.
But the people who are the CEO of Doritos might be donating to Trump Super PAC. Yeah. I don't fucking know. That's the point.
Right.
You can have that shit. I know about the Koch brothers and Koch Industries. Yeah. They're super hard right.
Right.
And they're definitely... I don't see these motherfuckers on TV, so I couldn't pick these old-ass white men out of a lineup.
Exactly. You don't know what they look like.
No idea.
You don't know what they support. The brand doesn't get behind some shit. Right? The brand is just like, yo, Doritos.
We need blue, green, red. We don't get Martians. We need everybody to eat fucking Doritos.
We're all inclusive when it comes to Doritos.
When it comes to Doritos, right? And so... being a music personality, you can't outwardly come out one way or the other because then you alienate people.
Right.
And you don't want to be a firebrand because that's not going to get you. If your goal is to play the Super Bowl, it's not going to get you there.
Yeah.
So if we go back, we have all the outrage of the Super Bowl. Lil Wayne does that.
Right.
Okay. Then, so as we start fast forwarding through the years, Lil Wayne is doing Lil Wayne things. He's releasing albums. He's doing music. He's doing what he does. Recently, though, the narrative has been out there is that he's, like you said, hard to work with.
Yeah.
Maybe won't show up on time, according to that one report.
Right.
If that's true, right? He's admitted that he doesn't remember his own lyrics.
Yes, that is something that he admitted himself.
He said that out of his own mouth.
Right.
Right.
And again, thinking about all the things that you're putting out there for these people who are in essence kind of interviewing you for this job. If we want to just put it into layman's terms, right? Like, you're in an interview for a job, right? And then the company that's interviewing you goes on social media and they find your social media where you're putting out your opinions, right? Maybe they're not aligned with those opinions.
Correct.
Or they're showing, you're showing that you have represented or demonstrated not having a capacity to do something, right? That was on that resume or something, right? They're gonna take that all into account. They see everything.
So I work in corporate America now. I've been in corporate America for the past 20 years.
Right.
Okay. And so everybody's heard the term money, power, respect.
Yes.
And so to navigate through the career and the success I'm having in my corporate career, you have to understand who can get you to the places you want to go and what you need to show to get to that place.
Right.
And what we didn't do with Lil Wayne, right? We just said, New Orleans, Lil Wayne. Right? And then we just whined.
Yeah.
But what we didn't talk about was, because it feels like, oh, so now Lil Wayne has to shuck and jive for the white people if he wants to play the Super Bowl. No, he doesn't. He does not.
No.
Kendrick didn't, and he got the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But Kendrick did what needed to be done. He made the right connections. He respected the right people.
Right.
Right? Because in money, power, respect, if you have enough money, he could have got the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He could have got the Super Bowl, right? If he had power, he could have made somebody, right, put him on the Super Bowl. So he didn't have, so he don't got those two things.
Yeah.
And he did not have the respect that he needed so that somebody would, so the people who had the power or the money
would then go to
would then say, no, we need to make this Lil Wayne.
Right.
Kendrick can do next year.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so he didn't have any of those things. And that's the conversation that I feel like we missed, like tremendously as a group of people talking about this conversation. Is just that, one, somebody who's doing it is insanely qualified to do it, and two, the person you guys are saying you wanted to do it did not build a resume enough and has not made the industry connections and might even be in a position where their music is being suppressed. So there was a lot of reasons why this wasn't going to happen.
Right.
So, I mean, if we just talk about the corporate stuff
Yeah.
and we just keep it there,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't seem to me that Young Money, OVO, Cash Money really understand how the big players work,
Right.
right? And they're still fighting a beef that Jay-Z doesn't give a shit about. Jay-Z's a billionaire. You think he give a fuck about what Baby's saying on Twitter?
He don't care. He don't care,
You
bruh.
think like, you think so? Somebody you think anybody told Jay-Z Baby said that shit?
I think he would laugh.
You think Jay-Z sitting in whatever palatial thing he's sitting in is looking at Nicki Minaj comments?
No.
It's not how he got to $1 billion.
No.
And the multiple billions. It's not how him and Beyonce got to billions of dollars, right? So, so we had Lil Wayne's reaction.
Yeah. Yeah. We then got to see how he felt from his...
What did you think of his reaction?
So okay, again, I do like Wayne, right? And I guess on a personal level, I can see being a little, a little sad for him, feeling a little bad for him because it's kind of like, he really looks disappointed. But I would hope that the disappointment was coming more from, I'm disappointed in myself for. There was a thing. He didn't apologize. He apologized for not being ready for the news, right? He didn't apologize for not making himself ready and capable and all the things we just mentioned, like making himself the best candidate, right? Because then you could stand on that. You could say, I believe I did everything I needed to do. It didn't happen, but I know I did all I could do, right? Clearly, he didn't do everything he could have done on his end, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of shortcomings. So I think that was the only thing I didn't like about the apology. Right, was that it wasn't so much reflective on himself. He did say some things about like I'm gonna work on myself, but it still came from a feel sorry for me, and I do feel like I was wronged, even though, again, I don't think he was being considered.
Yeah, so I don't think he was trying to apologize. I think he just needed to put something out there because everybody was speaking on his behalf, and he just wanted to have Wayne's words out there.
Yeah.
And I think that, first of all, I think he was smoking a blunt in the video, if I recall correctly.
There you go.
That's the most sober I've ever seen Lil Wayne. And vulnerable I've ever seen Lil Wayne.
Yeah, definitely that.
And this clearly is something that really hurt him.
Right.
And I don't I agree with the idea of we need to give our people flowers while they're still here.
Yeah.
And not just do a, if something happens to Wayne, then we put his face up on the Super Bowl screens and so on and so forth. But I also want to make sure we understand something as well. The Super Bowl is not a hip hop showcase
At all.
right? So we're having this conversation because Kendrick Lamar was picked.
Yeah.
But I don't think we would have had the conversation as fiercely if Taylor Swift would have been picked, who is actually who I thought was going to do the Super Bowl. Actually,
I thought so too. How would it have not been Taylor? That's the win that I see in this. You got Kendrick instead of Taylor, who is making all this money for the NFL right now.
It felt tailor made. You see what I did there?
Oh my, brother.
But I mean, with Taylor, the Chiefs could potentially end up in the Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
Taylor performing at the Super Bowl, the narrative writes itself.
Yeah.
Right. And so I want to get out of this, again, because it was in New Orleans, it needed to be a hip hop act anyway, period. Insert if it wasn't Lil Wayne, let's say Lil Wayne said, I don't want to do it.
Right.
Let's go there. What if Lil Wayne said, I don't want to do the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Then would we have this outrage? Or are we only outraged because Lil Wayne expressed the desire to do the Super Bowl in his hometown, and we didn't?
That's definitely it. And, again, amongst, I think, a more niche part of maybe, I guess, the hip hop community, Lil Wayne is a darling to them. And I think that's why they were so offended and why they ride so hard for Lil Wayne. But as a whole, when we tell just someone else who's not really in this as much as we are, right? They'll be like, Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne? They'd be like,
let me make one thing clear. It was like 142 million or something like that people watch
that was
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
62 million people outside of the U.S. also watched the Super Bowl. So there's like 200 million people total. Mm-hmm. And we, America, wanted to put Lil Wayne in front of 200 million people as our example of hip hop and culture.
Right. And that's who we wanted to be the first one.
The first one.
Again, everybody remembers the first.
The first one. Okay. I feel bad for Lil Wayne. He looked like he was hurting. He looked like he was down bad.
It looked like it really did affect him, and I think that's the part where, we're human and we can definitely look at that and say, that's not a good feeling to have, to see Wayne in that state, right? But it's also not good to see him in a state where he can't remember his lyrics.
I've been hearing, I haven't watched any performances by Lil Wayne, but I've been hearing those performances are getting real rough. And so I hope some of the reflecting he's doing is going back, maybe getting sober.
Yeah.
And maybe thinking about what kind of act he is. Because, again, the Super Bowl is a spectacle.
Right.
So this wasn't going to be just Lil Wayne getting up on a stage and just standing in one place.
Yeah.
And just rapping songs while other people come up. That's not what this is.
This isn't, your I'm Pregnant performance by Rihanna where she's just
even that was crazy.
And then when you think about it, you're like, oh shit, she was pregnant.
Yeah, she was pregnant. I was like, damn,
shit.
This is dangerous, Rihanna. Get down, girl. What are you doing?
What are you doing up there? Relax.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not worth it. Jesus Christ.
And she didn't she wasn't. But Usher was all over the place.
Usher was.
This motherfucker was everywhere.
He was out here. Giving the running backs money, because he was just going. He was over here, over there. He was
everywhere dancing. Nigga was out of breath. You could hear him.
Yeah.
These are my confessions. Just when I was that nigga was tired.
Yeah.
Fucking Lil Wayne go pass out song 1. Niggas gonna be done. They gonna be lip singing for the rest of the fucking thing. You know what I mean? So I just we weren't being honest as a culture about we were being very emotional about it.
Yeah, for sure.
We were being very, very emotional about it. And I was like, look, I also thought to myself, I was like, Drake ain't even played the fucking Super Bowl. And he's bigger than Lil Wayne, wouldn't you guys say?
I would say so.
Okay.
And I would say, maybe Drake could have done it and brought out Wayne if we're saying that. Again, that's why I don't think that he was being considered at this point in Wayne's career. Again, at this point, he is much more of a, I think, in the eyes of the general public, like a more of like a nostalgic act than he is like a
current act.
A current act. And kind of course, the Super Bowl for a while kind of felt like a nostalgic act kind of concert.
With all the fucking crypt keepers they came, they had coming out.
He's still alive. every year for the Super Bowl, I'd be like,
with all the fucking,
they're still alive.
Yeah,
they're still playing.
Jesus,
the Rolling Stones are still around.
Man, Mick Jagger looks terrible.
Oh my God, how old is he?
Yeah, 89.
I agree.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sake. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
All that money went up your nose, bro.
Man. Keith Richards, Jesus. Jack Sparrow daddy. Jesus, man. So yeah, I mean, like I just think about it, and I'll say it like this.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar is the best hip hop representation of black excellence. Absolutely. He's a father. He's with his baby's mother. Mm-hmm. He's they're all under the same household.
Right.
He defeats a lot of stereotypes about black men who come from the hood.
Right.
He's entertaining the white people. Damn was a Pulitzer Prize winning project.
Yeah.
He's got the accolades. He's got everything you would want of an act who's getting ready to perform on the largest stage in America.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know what Lil Wayne's family situation is, and I'm not going to pretend to know. I'm just going to say when you put those two images up on a punt, so we either do the dreaded face tattooed Lil Wayne, mm-hmm. or we do the clean cut looking Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
Right? And it's not to say that Kendrick Lamar don't have no dirt going on, and I don't know that man's life. He clearly wasn't beating on Whitney, unfortunately, Drake. So, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, he beat that charge real quick, didn't he? So
that was one thing that he beat.
Yeah. That's all he beats is charges, nigga. Like,
That's hard. That's so hard.
Hell yeah. See, Kendrick Lamar inspires us all.
God. I felt that in my soul. You know
but yeah, so it just, like, when I thought about it, I was like, this only makes all of the sense in the world. I don't even understand the idea of, oh, this should have been someone. I don't give a fuck what rapper you guys were going to put in there. Not J. Cole, not nobody. There was nobody that y'all could have put in that I would have been like, yeah, they deserve it more than Kendrick.
I really can't think of another one, right?
If we were going to do a rapper, there is no rapper hotter.
Yeah.
And the industry seems ready to crown Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
I have two questions I'm going to ask you, by the way.
Okay.
Did Drake turn down the Super Bowl?
I think actually, I found out today, it's confirmed that Rock Nation never presented him with the option to perform the Super Bowl. I think they confirmed that they never did.
Okay, so who the fuck is Elliott Wilson talking to?
Fucking nobody. No one's talking to nobody. That's the other thing. Their sources are as good as ours. You know what I mean? Like
who's Maul talking to?
Well, apparently Drake.
He done turned that motherfucker down like 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Okay, nigga.
Drake was considered for 2020, 2021.
I'll say this: he may not have. I don't know if I believe that.
You don't know that you believe that they didn't offer to?
I don't know that I believe that. So because I feel like there's a circumstance where Drake would not have.
Right. You were giving me the knowledge. You were doing the knowledge on this the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm actually I wanna rehash this conversation. So go ahead.
Okay. So if we wind the clocks back to 2020, back when
crazy time.
Back when Wayne was saying Black Lives didn't matter.
Wayne was also in the hospital that same year, I think. It was like
it was a lot going on. There was a lot of people in the hospital that year. So
oh my God.
You know what I mean? So the NFL for the black culture was not fucking with the NFL based on that Colin Kaepernick shit.
Yeah.
Drake at the time, still beloved by black people the world over. Mm-hmm. He could not have performed that Super Bowl even if they asked him to do it at that time. Everybody was turning Rihanna turned the Super Bowl down at that time.
You're saying it was very radioactive.
It was not a good. Travis Scott did not play the Super Bowl at that time. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, people were not playing the Super Bowl.
Right.
Which is why the NFL had to go get Rock Nation.
Right.
To figure this out. Mm-hmm. Right? And how did they do it? They did J-Lo and Shakira. Because they needed somebody. Mm-hmm. Right? And then I think The Weeknd, either The Weeknd or Bruno Mars or somebody. It was The Weeknd, I think.
Yeah.
One of them niggas, right? Did it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think we had Bad Girl Riri.
Yes.
And we had Usher.
Dre, Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre and then Usher.
Yeah.
So they've done it 5 times.
Yeah.
Right? Dr. Dre and then Usher. And what happened, because we were on the boycott. We were like, fuck the NFL. I was literally playing fantasy football off of stats. I was not watching no NFL games. I was just looking like, okay, he's averaging 15. Like, that's how I was playing fantasy football. I was not watching no games.
Oh, shit.
Okay? So that ratings are, Dez Bryant was like, shit, nigga, I got to get my money. I can't be fucking kneeling out here, right? Like, this is how these niggas was doing out here.
Well, that was what was going on.
That's what was going on.
That's what was going on.
But let me tell you what changed. Because you asked me a question. We was like, fuck the NFL, nigga. And I was like, yeah, we was.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what changed for me.
What?
Colin Kaepernick wanted to go back to the NFL. He was like, I still want to play. Nigga got paid. And he was like, I still want to play.
I said, well, I still want to play.
And I was like, well, shit, nigga, I can't be madder at the NFL than you are. They did you wrong.
Right.
And Colin Kaepernick, with that switch, opened the gates for niggas to be like, okay, well, I guess we can watch NFL games again. And then,
but at that point, were we still holding on to Colin Kaepernick's opinion?
Yeah, no, I mean,
the
NFL. Look, the NFL, they were really serious. They put in racism in the touchdowns, and that was really important for us. I'm being facetious, by the way. So
here's my other thing is that, of course, going back and thinking about 2020, of course, a lot of people felt this way, and a lot of people were mobilized to be like, nah, we're boycotting the NFL. I'm not supporting the NFL. Because we had more time to care. We had more time to care.
We had all the time.
We had all the time to care, and then fucking the
world
opened back up, and everyone was like, I'm
so
mad.
Yeah.
You want to go to the game?
Also,
we should go to the game.
You know what else? You know what else happened?
What?
BLM, the organization, started fucking up real hard.
Yeah.
Fucking keeping the money and buying houses and shit.
Buying houses on
like
the books,
we was
man?
like,
what are we doing?
all right, nigga, look, I have a BLM sweater that to this day I actually love it. The sweater is fucking hard.
Right.
I can't even wear it. I don't even fucking wear that motherfucker.
Right,
I'm just man, It's
more of the ideal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm more,
like
but I'm not gonna rep BLM.
Yeah.
I'll put that motherfucker on in the house. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna be out here wearing it all that much.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, BLM was fucking up as an organization.
Right.
I still believe in the movement. I still believe Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
I still believe all of that, but all of that controversy on what was going on.
Yeah.
It kind of just made people. I can't speak for people. It made me feel like, you know what? If Colin wants to be back in the league, I can't be madder at.
Right.
I can't be madder than the person the shit happened to.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So if he's forgiven NFL,
yeah,
I'm a 49ers fan. They were doing very well. It was very hard for me to walk away from this.
Yeah.
After Colin Kaepernick had forgiven them, I was like, okay, well, shit. I guess I'll watch. I also developed a different feeling about corporate America in general.
Yeah.
I remember I was having a conversation with one of my bosses. This was years ago.
Yeah.
And we were talking about slavery.
Oh.
Don't ask me how this conversation started.
This is already bad.
Yeah, it's all bad.
Corporate, and you're talking about slavery?
Hey, if you ask me, I'm
was
fucking...
your boss white?
British, by the way.
Oh.
So, yes, the original whites.
Wow,
so,
that's a different kind of white.
Yeah, it's
I don't know if you ever...
very exquisite, pure kind of white.
It's that pure cocaine. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's
China
crazy.
white doubloon. So we're talking about it. And he was like, but Ryan, you drive BMWs. And I'm like, okay. First of all, let me know when there's a all black car maker.
Yeah.
That's the only car I'm buying. Yeah. Let me know, LA. I could probably look this up because I'm sure there are some.
What?
Black Banx. I would do it. If I could get my home loans and my business loans and my loans and you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Credit cards and all other shit that we do in this financial system where it's all black, then have that criticism for me. But you know, we were just becoming the cancel boycott people, just like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, the CEO picked his nose and then fucking put his hands in the Chipotle meat. No, you know what I mean? Like boycott Tide. And I'm like, nigga, I gotta wash my clothes. What the fuck is you talking about? Like, I'm not about to boycott Tide, right?
Boycott Tide.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is we like, you know, and so I started having this thing like, look, these corporations aren't going nowhere. Plus, you don't know how much of a conglomerate these corporations own. And some of these larger corporations that you want to boycott own shit that you buy, but you don't know that it's attached to the brand because the brands are different.
Well, we have to get into Nestle.
You know what I'm saying?
Nestle own half the world.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They own the chocolate, the water, like, you know what I mean?
Chocolate, the water, toilet paper.
You know what I mean? So it's just, so when you start getting into these games on who we're going to cancel and not consume, I'm just like, it's impossible. They've made my life a point where I have to consume. Right. I work for one corporation. Yeah. I buy products for another. The fucking competing corporation.
There you go, man.
Like there's nothing I can do about this. And so when I circle back to the NFL, I was like, you know, I'm being kind of fraudulent here because my life is not set up where I could just be boycotting a gang of shit that I don't believe in. So just to be true to myself, fuck it. Like, you know, man, corporate America got me by the balls. So they just got me.
So I guess to go back to the way that you brought this all up. Yeah. I don't feel like that feeling lasted as long as you're saying. So if Drake was being offered the halftime show in 2020, 2021, I think, you know, there was a chance for him to have done it in 21 or 22 where... Yeah. So okay, optically, the Rihanna one is probably the one. We got out enough from the Colin Kaepernick thing to where, okay, I'm not going to ruffle any feathers on my fan base. I can do this.
He could have got the Rihanna one, but it was Rihanna. So, yeah, you know. And then he could have got the Dre one, but it was Dre.
I mean...
yeah, so I'm like...
I don't know. I guess...
To the point I was making earlier about your corporate connections. Right. So, word on the street. Drake's fucking Jack Dorsey's ex or whatever.
Who is he?
Okay. So I was watching JBP. Yeah. Okay. And they were having this conversation. Yeah. Okay. And the conversation was actually pissing me off.
What?
Because on one side of the set, they were like, why ain't we talking about the girl and why aren't we holding the girl accountable? And on the other side of the set, they were saying they were talking about having discernment. Right. And you and I talked about this. Yes. Because if Spotify wants to buy this podcast, right, or whoever, you know, if they came and they wanted us to join their network, whoever, insert whatever here, there's no way I would walk in that room or be at a party or whatever the situation was where people I was trying to get money with or from, and think like, I'm going to fuck their girl. Yeah. It's not a thing that I would think about.
What are we doing, bruh? Like, what are you even thinking? You're thinking that's the power play. Of all the power plays you could have made.
So, like, I'm gonna fuck his girl. Should the women be held accountable for their own actions? Absolutely, like that. But we're having two separate conversations. Yeah. Yes, the girl. But you don't know who Jack Dorsey talks to. You don't know who calls Jack Dorsey for information. Mm-hmm. Right? And this goes back to that point I was making about corporations suppressing Drake. Right. Right? And raising Kendrick up to a level. Because you don't get Not Like Us onto the charts without a lot of money being behind it.
Oh, for sure. Right?
Right? Yeah. And so we don't know. Jack Dorsey's in the room like, hey, we're thinking about Lil Wayne doing the Super Bowl. And he goes, Lil Wayne, like Drake and Lil Wayne? Yeah, no, you shouldn't do that.
It came into his head and he was like,
right? No. I'm not saying that happened. I'm just spitballing hypotheticals.
We're also not saying that like Jack Dorsey like cared about that woman that much.
He may not have cared not one bit about that woman.
But he saw Drake and he was like, Drake decided to do this, and
I can't trust that man.
Yeah, I can't trust.
Can't trust that man because you gonna come and get You gonna come and try and take, hey, fucked on Wayne girls, he's in jail. That's conniving.
That's conniving.
You know what I mean? So, and I think when we start talking about these relationships, whether he could have played the Super Bowl, whether he did or not, the Rock Nation is saying we never offered Drake the Super Bowl.
Right.
Okay. The NFL also came out and said that was a blatant lie.
Yeah.
Bloomberg reported that.
Yeah.
So who do you believe? Elliott Wilson and his sources, Maul, or Rock Nation and the NFL? I don't know. I don't know who you're supposed to believe.
I don't know.
But I will say it is getting harder. Like, we still haven't gotten to the bottom of why everybody is against Drake.
Right.
There was a 20v1 narrative, but I'm like, Kendrick is affiliated to TDE, which eventually becomes UMG.
Right.
Via Interscope.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And UMG is signing off on calling Drake a pedophile.
Yeah, why don't we make all our money this summer off of calling our biggest
act
a pedophile?
Like the PDF allegation thing. We're not saying Drake is. This is not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is this is weird that UMG allowed this shit to fly off and allowed this record to reach #1 on the charts for a couple weeks, be top 10 for like 18 weeks.
Right.
They were playing this shit after an Olympic win.
I heard that shit in the middle of the fucking finals for the NBA.
Like, this shit had some motion.
I was like, yo, this is crazy.
This is fucking wild.
It's crazy.
This is fucking wild. And all I'm trying to say is I could see scenarios where Drake did turn down the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I can also see a scenario where nobody asked this nigga to do the Super Bowl at all ever.
Oh.
So it's very Trumpian where he's like, I've played all the Super Bowls. I was asked hundreds of times. I've turned down the Super Bowl 100 times. Like, there's only been 50 Super Bowls or whatever the fuck we're talking. Like, the fuck are you talking about? That's the feel Maul had when...
he's turned down all the Super Bowls.
He's turning down all the Super Bowls. Because the Super Bowl, I'm bigger than the Super Bowl.
Oh shit!
Tell me that's not how Drake sounds right now.
And all I'm gonna say is, just to wrap this up, this little I saw a small narrative saying, well, Drake's gonna perform at the World Cup, and I was like,
hear that.
You guys are assuming that they're not gonna pick somebody like Bad Bunny, somebody with much more global reach, right?
Much more global reach,
right? Again, soccer is the global game.
Soccer is a global game.
It's, quote unquote, the beautiful game.
The beautiful game.
And look, between Drake and Bad Bunny, I might go Bad Bunny.
If we had the option,
yeah.
We get El Conejo Malo.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that's just,
Okay.
So think about.
So Drake maybe didn't play the Super Bowl. Maybe he did. Who the fuck knows?
I don't fucking know.
Maybe he knows.
I don't know. And I don't care to speculate. But again, we're having the conversations that I think need to be had, and more people need to be thinking about this side, this through this lens, right? Because they're just, I don't know, they're not getting there on their own.
We need to be thinking about the business that goes behind some of this stuff, and we need to stop being so blind that this is a money thing.
Yeah.
And when you become an artist, you are your own brand. Exactly. And you're your own business person, right? And so you represent you every time you walk out of the door. Yeah. And you may not be the person you are as a music personality. Shout out Post Malone. He got to his right place, right?
Yeah.
So you may not be this person in real life, right?
Right.
But if that's the person you're going to be outside, like Trippie Redd's never going to play the Super Bowl. Not never.
I hope I'm not surprising anyone when I say that.
And wherever he's from, if the Super Bowl ever goes to his city and we're not like, how come it's not City Girls playing? It's in Miami. How come we're not doing JT at the Super? Like, this is a dumb conversation. What
about Lil Uzi? You think Lil Uzi can ever
look, if it's in Atlanta, we're not calling Lil Yachty, right? Like, that's not what's going to happen. But is this what my question to hip hop community, hip hop culture, is this what we are going to reduce ourselves down to? Mm-hmm. We can only play the Super Bowl when it is in our area.
It's not a...
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's dumb. That's dumb. But that's the box we're put in.
Right.
So when this shit is in Minnesota, we got no chance.
Oh.
Shit's in. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
man, no.
No chance. When the shit's in Seattle, no chance.
Come on, there's somebody out of Seattle, right?
Sure. You tell me.
I don't know.
All right. Kendrick dropped a track.
He did drop a
Lil
track.
Lucy.
He did.
Lil Loosey Goosey.
A little loosey goosey.
It's officially on top. I know the internet has decided this track is called "Watch the Party Die." This track has no name.
It's just untitled. It's not. It doesn't have a name. It's just the date that it was released. That's really what it is.
That's what it is. What did you think?
Oh man, I mean, the boogeyman never ceases to amaze me.
This motherfucker on 9/11, bro. I'm like, this
You
diabolical ass
are.
motherfucker, bro.
I was like, we gotta start looking at
This
This is like this pure, like diabolical demon in the corner type shit.
Oh man, this nigga is wow.
He is the monster underneath your bed. He is.
It's definitely the monster in Drake's closet. I'm fucking close the. If it's open when he goes to get in the bed, you know how you lay in the bed, and your closet's open. You see how dark it is, and you're like, go close that door, man. Shit is making me nervous.
And he's in there.
Yeah,
He's in there watching. Oh man.
yeah.
Oh man. He was on his boogeyman shit with that one. Oh man.
What do you think of the track? I'm sure you had a chance to digest the
Yes,
lyrics. What
yes.
you think? What's going on?
I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot because I felt like, there was a lot of discourse of what parts were meant for Drake. Was it even meant for Drake? Was it something else he was addressing? And everyone runs to dissect every little piece. I heard something about this representing like Moses parting the Red Sea, talking about like freeing the people. Yeah. Let my people go. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right.
So we're on our tinfoil hat game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I love a good theory.
Yeah,
I love a good theory.
yeah.
I didn't go to that
down the
level.
rabbit hole
I
now.
did not go to that level.
All right.
I will say that I really did feel him speaking to, calling out the bastardization of the hip hop culture, in the time that he's been involved, right? And I think that was what I felt like he was calling out the most, right? And it's been his purpose with, again, Drake being the prime example of that, but also in general. I'm talking to everybody. If I'm the king, I'm talking to everybody, and that's what he was doing. That's what it felt like to me, and that's what I really enjoyed about that, because it's like, man, when you on top and you drop this. You put this out for everyone to listen to?
It was a very I came for your king.
Yeah.
I'm coming for the rest of you.
Right.
Kind of track.
Yeah.
I was listening to this track. Again, good. It wasn't even like produced. It was just, it was produced, but there was no production.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? No mixing, no mastering, all that stuff.
Right.
That all the people have said. Right. But it's still just a very. So in music, when we talk, I'm going to talk about the musicality of this track more than the content. So Kendrick has a way of getting you into a space where you're trying to digest a lot of consciousness. You're trying to digest a lot of content, and you're trying to think, right? Or you should be thinking. Yeah. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like Kendrick, because they're dumb. They don't want to be in their feelings, and they just want to, feel the vibrations.
Right.
Rap music right now is a lot about vibration, and it puts you in a trance, right? So it's like a drug, in a sense. Those vibrations either get you up, or if they're low vibrations, because of the song is like a druggy emo track, then they put you in a coma induced state kind of thing. And so when we think about the musicality of this track, the beat, right? It's very spooky, right? Like Meet the Grams was spooky. What kind of? But that was like more murderous intent.
Yeah.
This feels more like
ominous.
Yeah, like eerie.
Like eerie.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so it's for me, I was just like, he's putting us in a space where he's like, all right, so I walked that man down. Okay, so
he's dead.
So yeah, don't need to talk about that anymore. So
Yeah.
to let you guys know, I don't need to deal with that no more because I dealt with it.
Right.
You're welcome, by the way. Right? Did y'all the favor.
Right.
Now, the rest of you niggas is up next, right? Because when you go and take down a kingdom, first you kill the king, then you ride down with the head of the king, right? I'm getting very, very macabre and graphic now.
Yeah.
Because I want to paint a picture of what I think Kendrick has going on.
Right.
I feel like he's got the head of the king now. And then he's like, anybody loyal to this motherfucker, you up next. So either you getting down with the new program or I'm coming for the rest of you niggas.
Right.
Right? And so the beat he selected for this is a crazy intro to what I think is going to be a hell of an album.
Definitely.
And I'm
It's like an unofficial, like, kind of teaser trailer for this album where he's gonna do this, right? I'm not gonna put any other expectations on his album. Let him just drop it and do it.
Let him drop it.
But
I want that broccoli track, bro.
Man,
I want that track. That shit got me hype.
Let's go.
Got me hype. Fucking release that shit before the Super Bowl so you can perform it at the Super Bowl.
There you go.
You know.
There you go.
Yeah. I what I love about the track has nothing to do with the track.
What?
He fucking just set the internet on fire. Everybody's making their videos like you said. Tinfoil hats.
Exactly.
Fucking Ack is flipping out.
Yeah.
He's posting not accurate reports. Now.
Oh wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, right. If you don't know, what I'm talking about is there was a report out of the LA Times, which I read, that said that the Compton business owners were very mad at the city of Compton for that Not Like Us video. Because they were ill prepared and lost a lot of business. So they needed to know that maybe they needed to shut down their business, or maybe they could have opened up had some food truck situation out there so that they could make money while this shit was going on.
Right.
Ack has reported that as Kendrick Lamar reduces, revenue for businesses, because that's how the article was written.
Right.
The people of Compton have come out to say, shut the fuck up, Ack. We have no problem with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Our problem was with the city of Compton not informing us that this shit was going down. Right? And so Kendrick Lamar seems to activate the internet right now and just society.
Of course.
In a way that nobody else does right now.
But think about why. Because he doesn't actively participate in it.
It's very true.
So every time that he is participating and that I see so this is my when the Super Bowl announcement came up, the first thing Instagram does for me, Kendrick Lamar, right at the top, there's like the little stories at the top.
Yeah.
His comes up first, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, Kendrick Lamar, right? So I click on that, takes me to his page, right? And then new post.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's only got like 3. and it's an ominous 3. Have you seen the 3 that I
haven't seen the 3.
It's a fucking glove.
Like, yo.
Oh my God.
I'm like, Kendrick is diabolical, my guy.
It's a murderer's Instagram. This shit's crazy.
It's a very serial killer Instagram.
So, again, he's shown that not actively using the internet in everything and anything that you want to do kind of creates more of this interest and this intrigue. But again, that's also tied into who Kendrick is, though, right? Because it's authentic to him, and it's also only he could kind of utilize that effect in this way.
Okay.
Right, because we do hang on every little word that he says because we don't get much. We don't get much.
We don't get much, and we take it and we go everywhere with it. We go everywhere with it.
Yeah.
And I think he just has a hold on society, and when I think about his discography, all of his projects are very different.
Right.
All of his projects have different meanings and messages. All of his projects are good.
Yeah.
You can like them to varying degrees, but they're all critically acclaimed projects. And so he drops this track to say, "Watch the party die." And it immediately, like, Drake Glazer's stans are hate listening. They're on Kendrick Lamar's. Let me say this. if we were not doing this music podcast, I would not listen to Drake because I don't enjoy Drake.
Right.
These niggas are out here on Kendrick Lamar's Instagram page, hate listening to this nigga so they could have a angry take about the music.
Yeah.
It's insane to me.
Yeah.
This is insane to me that he's got everybody active right now. Right? And that's not to say that people don't hate listening to Drake and all that stuff. But what we're finding is very few people are starting to listen to Drake, right? Yeah. Until he drops a project.
Right.
And I just find it fascinating that, again, musically, he's making some very interesting choices to put you in a mood, put you in a certain kind of mood.
Yeah.
And then the content of it is he is clearly telling you, like, I am here to change this game.
Yeah.
I think there's a place for party music.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a place for party music.
I'm not saying that it needs to die.
Yeah, there's a place for party music.
No, of course.
There's a place. We need club music. We need music to turn a party up, right? But that doesn't need to be all of the music that is released.
I think that's what he's kind of saying in his message, right?
Yeah.
And I think he's also speaking to just like this iteration of what hip hop has become, what rap has become.
It's become bad. It's bad.
It needs to die.
It's bad.
And he wants to be the one to kill it. Right? And to bring in a new day. So I understand how this is Moses coded, right?
I don't know that he wants to be. I think he's just saying I am the one to do it, right? Like
the chosen one?
I am the one that has come to take care of it since it won't be taken care of.
Right.
Otherwise,
no one else is gonna do it.
Everybody else was falling in line, right? Yeah. And think about where hip hop is. You know how many songs are on the charts right now that are rap songs? It's like 4 or 5.
Really?
Yeah. Something like that.
Really?
It's less than 10 for sure, and there's 100 spots.
Yeah.
And rap's in a really weird spot where we know, again, so facts. We're not going to deal in this conjecture. We're not going to do like other shows do where they're just very conspiracy theory.
Right.
So the facts are labels are putting less money behind rap acts.
Right.
We know that.
Yeah.
Right. It's harder for that music to chart. To your point.
Yeah.
The fucking gymnastics and shenanigans that go on behind getting to the top of the chart. Shout out Travis Scott. That motherfucker is cratering right now.
You see those second week numbers?
Oh man, fuck the first week. You see them?
That's how you knew it was funny numbers.
It was so I don't know. I was watching that shit like, Nene must feel very validated right now.
I was like, oh my God. What did that say?
This motherfucker so this nigga was putting an album with a t-shirt and everything. Like he was doing all kind of shit.
Some socks. Fucking.
Got the Before the Rodeo socks.
Yeah,
comes with an album, right? Like he was doing all kind of shit.
Oh,
but I think that we know that the industry is putting less money behind that. Seems like a lot more money behind country. Obviously the money's behind pop.
Right.
Afro beats acts are getting signed left and right.
Yeah.
But we know that there's less money behind hip hop acts unless you're one of the ones. Drake, Kenny, Cole, Meg. Lotto's getting charged up right now. Ice Spice is getting charged up right now. So you got to be one of these acts that they're trying to market.
Right.
Because they're not putting a lot of money behind anyone else.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
And so all that being said, it's feeling like the people who spend the money to put this out here are even saying, you know what, this isn't that much of a moneymaker that we need to invest in it anymore. Right. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about rap being in that state?
Well, I'm actually not. It's not surprising because I feel like we've been seeing that trend continue to occur. We've talked about it before where I think music is trending, in terms of popularity, trending into more, I guess, global genres, right? And I think that's going to be the next iteration of what's popular. I guess, popular besides pop, if that makes sense. Right? Popular besides because
you have pop,
standard pop.
You have your pop, reggaeton, that's really hot. Afro beats right now, that's really hot,
And it's only going to continue to happen, right? That's why you're seeing an Afrobeats artist collab with the Selena Gomez, collab with the. Soon it's gonna be Taylor Swift. Soon it's gonna be Post Malone too. Again,
Jesus
yet again.
fucking Christ.
You know what I mean? You keep reminding me that Taylor Swift's gonna release that.
Yeah, wait till Taylor Swift does that fucking reggaeton album with Bad Bunny.
She gonna be. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And that motherfucker's gonna do $1 billion.
It's gonna do $1 billion.
Right.
Like, we've never seen this much in our lives.
My god. The Bad Bunny Taylor Swift collab is gonna go off. Hopefully Taylor Swift doesn't do that to y'all, but so. I think she's going to. I think she's going to do that to y'all for sure.
So to all the beige babies out there, I just want you to know you be very, very represented in all this collab and global music that'll come out.
Yeah, I think rap's in a bad spot, but I think it says something. Like if we tie this whole conversation together,
yeah,
I think it says something to me where Drake's not going anywhere. I want to be clear to the people out there. I don't think UMG is done with Drake.
No.
I think that companies look at Drake is a line item on a spreadsheet, and they're looking at what thing is going to start making them the most money. And for the music industry as a whole, UMG specifically, Kendrick Lamar is that thing over Drake right now.
Yeah.
So Drake is being deprioritized, right? In terms of what we're going to put out. And Lil Wayne is down here, like so it's like Kendrick, Drake, and then like Lil Wayne's like on that spreadsheet is like down here.
Yeah.
Which is why he didn't get the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
And so what we're seeing is we're like, okay, so it's like, all right, if we're going to start putting money behind acts, if it's going to be a hip hop act, then we're going to go to Kendrick first, and then we'll go to someone else. Drake is a little, some people are feeling him, some people aren't feeling him. So we're going to just let that settle over there for a little bit.
Right.
But Meg is really hot. We got the new Megan follow-up album coming out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Glorilla's first album is on the way. So we're going to start putting our money behind this when it comes to rap. And I think that corporate America has been put in a position by Kendrick Lamar where he took the crown.
Yeah.
If you want to come through, if you want to get to black culture, whether he's making struggle jams like all right, because we gonna be all right, right? So whether he's making those kinds of things or he's making an album like Damn, which Pulitzer was like, this needs a prize, right? Kendrick is basically saying, if you want to get to black culture, you got to come through me, and people like me, You gonna stop going through them niggas like Drake and all the niggas who fuck around like that, like everybody that's of that ilk. And so it's starting, as this is starting to like crystallize for me. I'm starting to see like, oh, so this is why Future starts pulling away and Rick Ross starts, doing his thing. All these people who were getting money with Drake start coming this way. Yeah. Because corporate America is now saying, you're not a priority for us.
Right.
So they start doing the shit with The Weeknd, who Apple Music is behind.
Right.
Apple Music, who Drake shunned Tidal for.
Exactly.
Sponsoring a halftime show.
Yes.
That Kendrick Lamar is headlining. I'm just saying corporate America has decided Drake is not their darling right now.
That's probably the biggest testament to that argument, too, is the fact that, again, he signed that deal with Apple Music, right? And you would have thought they would have been in cahoots to kind of let him be that.
He could get the Super Bowl whenever he wants.
Exactly.
No, he can't.
And Apple's doing it now, and they're like, no, we're going with Kendrick.
Hey, all the sponsors. All the sponsors. Again, kids. The sponsors are spending millions of dollars to advertise on the Super Bowl.
Right.
Millions.
Yeah.
And this is why Lil Wayne couldn't get the Super Bowl, because people who are spending millions of dollars are not going to put their name next to Lil Wayne's name.
Yeah.
That's what the Super Bowl is. So if you could get out of your fucking emotions for 2 seconds and realize that Lil Wayne has not built a brand that corporations are ready to stand behind.
Right.
Then you can understand why he's not playing the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
My second question I wanted to ask for you.
Okay.
Does Lil Wayne go kiss the Kendrick ring so he can get on the Super Bowl stage?
At this point, I think it's too messy on both ends. It's too messy for Wayne because obviously it's clearly stating that I don't fuck with you, Drake. Even though which might be true in behind closed doors, it might be true. They might actually not get along anymore. Right.
Wayne tattoo or no Wayne tattoo?
Yeah, I don't think that was. Would you accept somebody's apology with a tattoo of your face?
If I was doing a bid
on another man's body.
If I was doing, that nigga's so corny, bro. If I was doing a bid,
yeah,
and the kid that I brought on,
yeah,
fucked one of my hoes,
yeah,
I'd never talk to that nigga again.
yeah.
I can't trust him to do nothing. I can't trust you to take care of my shit. And look, hoes gonna be hoes, so you couldn't blame Tammy.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not about the women. So to all the women had to fuck him too. Yeah, we get it.
Right.
That's not what this is about. Yeah. I can't trust you to take care of my shit while I'm gone.
Yeah.
So you in my motherfucking house fucking my bitch, drinking my milk, not putting gas in my Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't trust that shit.
Exactly.
I can't trust that shit. So, no, I'd never talk. If I get tattoo or no tattoo, I'd never fuck with that nigga again.
Okay, so even if that's how he feels,
yes,
right? Optically, I think it's well, if he's making sound business choices, then maybe he'll be like, nah, I can't go up there with Kendrick, right?
I think the soundest business choice. I couldn't disagree with you more. I think the soundest business choice is to go kiss that ring.
I don't know.
I think the soundest business choice.
Eventually, there will be a Young Money, Cash Money reunion.
They can do that.
That'll make a lot of money.
They can do that.
That'll have to happen at some point.
And they can do that. And they'll make a lot of money, and they can do that.
Yeah,
that can still happen.
You're saying even with this happening,
I'm saying if he go perform the Super Bowl, fucking even feature on Kendrick's next album. Like Kendrick is the king.
Yeah.
If he wants the Super Bowl that bad, if it hurt, he looked hurt.
Yeah.
You want the Super Bowl that bad?
Yeah.
King Kendrick Lamar.
Oh man.
King Kendrick Lamar.
Who's to say that Kendrick isn't reaching out to Wayne and saying, "Look, Wayne, we've done work together before."
Okay. So
you don't think Kendrick
today we consumed a lot of Kendrick Lamar, right? Based on the day we had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar does not need Lil Wayne.
I'm not saying he needs them. I'm saying that Kendrick
He can have a very Louisiana set. Whether it's, I don't think he's gonna do Not Like Us. Yeah. That's the lyrics are too incendiary for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But doing the horns in a very like the Louisiana funeral thing.
Yeah.
Or the Louisiana jazz style or the marching bands.
Right.
That's happening.
Yeah.
This thing is gonna have a very Louisiana feel.
Okay.
And it does not need Lil Wayne to do that.
Right.
So is Kendrick Lamar gonna call Lil Wayne and be like, "Hey, brother, you know what? No." No, he's not. But Lil Wayne should contact Jay-Z to contact Dr. Dre to contact Kendrick Lamar. This is what he should do. Because he definitely don't have Kendrick's number. So he gotta go around the rainbow. So he better start making up with everybody.
Yeah.
So that, and if he wants the Super Bowl that bad, and if that's how bad he wants it, then I'm Kendrick. I'll let him on.
Oh shit.
Because fuck Drake. I'd be like, nigga, fuck Drake. Thank you for posting them pictures of me, I guess. Fuck Drake, nigga. I want to play the Super Bowl. I don't give a fuck about that. This nigga fucked my bitch while I was in jail. You think I'm gonna not play the Super Bowl?
Well, that would make sense for Wayne for sure.
Right? Like, no.
Fuck about that.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
Shit. Nicki would call Kendrick too if she was up for the Super Bowl and it was in New York, and she would call Kendrick too.
Oh shit.
Cash Money needs to go kiss the ring.
They're down bad.
They're down bad. They're taking a lot of L's, bro. They're taking a lot of L's, bro. It's
crazy.
Hard.
It's crazy.
It's
hard.
You
know what? Well, Lil Wayne was Drake's mentor, and Lil Wayne obviously didn't make some smart choices, and now look at Drake. Now look at Drake.
Today, she feeling trapping, she say, talk to the sniper, he say, he aiming at diapers today. Pick you off like picking peppers, Peter Piper today. So tell your squad, I say, fly like